will not cut the scales from me again. You are not one of her thralls. No, you do not smell like them. Quickly, you must help me. I only barely escaped her clutches, but my root sisters and brothers were not so lucky. Every moment we delay will be measured in innocent blood. Shulzaltse devours the sun, High Priestess of the Teeth. She has many names, all of them spoken softly. She has returned from dusk to reclaim her temple, and we are the offering she makes for Sithis' favor. Yes, what blood she does not drink is spilled on the altars of the temple. For what purpose, I do not know. But many have died for the sake of her terrible rituals. Shulzaltse must be stopped. The priestess holds them in the teeth of Sithis. Use the tunnel beneath the waterfall to reach the Zanmirs on the ridge above. We will regroup at the top of the western Zanmir once you've found the others. I only know that we were kept in the chambers beneath the twin Zanmirs. If anyone is still alive, that's where they will be found. Be cautious. They will be guarded by those Shulzaltse has enthralled. They overwhelmed us with ease. We were custodians of the teeth of Sithis. Though it does not serve the same purpose it was built for, it is no less sacred. When the pitiful souls under the High Priestess's sway came to defile it, we resisted them, but her power was too much. Her way is the old way, from before the fall. We were less mindful of the cycle of change and gave only to the void. When the Hist revealed the true path to us, she chose to break the branch of her bond rather than turn back, or so the story goes. It is. The tale of Shulzaltse's betrayal and fall is a reminder not to stray from the guiding boughs of the Hist. I thought the lesson was embellished for effect, but it seems the only exaggeration was her demise. The story said she was cast down and entombed far from the roots of the Hist, never to return. But every spine on my body tells me the twisted creature that bathes in the blood of my fellows is Shulzaltse. A wonder from before dusk, built high to cast Sithis' long shadow over the land. A reminder that Sithis is always looming, waiting to return us to nothingness. The old ways were flawed. Many saw Sithis as destroyer, but not as creator. The old ways sought to appease Sithis, so it might spare us from destruction. In our ignorance, we struggled against its will like the muck we built upon until we neared collapse. It would have swallowed us if the Hist hadn't shared their wisdom. That Sithis is not only destruction, Sithis is change. Sithis tears down the old so that the new can grow. So we learn to flow with the river instead of struggle to alter its course. These are better times, but Shulzaltse cannot see that.
You come to drain the sap from me again, but I have little left to offer your master. When the last of us are bled dry, it will be you who quenches her endless thirst. It does not matter. We are too entangled in the rotting roots of our past to flee from it. They have spread far and wide, unnoticed beneath the surface, and now that they have broken into the light, it is too late. So what would you have me do?
Can't get enough of this fine vintage, huh? Well, you're cut off. Come any closer and I'll bash your fangs in. He got out? Slippery skink, that one. Well, what are you waiting for? Set me loose, so I can give these bloodsuckers a good thunk right in their pointy teeth.
I am grateful the Hist has guided you all to me, but is this everyone you were able to find? So far, yes. I found nothing in the eastern Zanmir but the priestess's thralls and the reek of mingling blood. Whoever was there has already been taken to bleed on the temple's teeth, or her own. She will find others. Before the fall, Shuzaltse drenched the teeth of Sithis with sacrificial blood from dawn to dusk. As the thing she has become, her need is greater now, and so is her power. I can feel it coursing through this temple. Like the blood spilled here begins to pulse through dead stone. The beating of this temple's heart is slow, but it echoes through the void. She is calling to Sithis. We cannot let her be heard. I fear what Shuzaltse has begun may not be undone by her death alone. We must stop her ritual and forever silence this temple to the old ways. Destroy the altars. Only then can we be certain the High Priestess will not get what she wants. They have stood too long already. They stand for a Sithis that is no longer or never was. It seeks change. Whether that change is good for us is for it to decide. Shuzaltse was not cast down for simply clinging to the old ways. She forsook this world. Her prayers of appeasement became invitations for destruction. I believe she has returned to finish what she started when the tribes rose up to stop her. To cast this world into darkness. To see the Hist wither and die. To sow destruction until the Great Serpent returns us all to the void. Shuzaltse returned from beyond the grip of death for this purpose. Who knows what is within her power? Some may be faithful to her as a priestess of Sithis, but I think most fell victim to her power. After the Black Rose riots destroyed the prison, there would have been no shortage of outlaws wandering the swamps for her to prey upon. The Rose was built upon ruins. Built upon ruins. Built upon ruins. The Hist only knows what was buried beneath. But if anything was to stir Shuzaltse from her grave, the bloodshed of the prison riots would be it. But we have more dire concerns. Set it ablaze! Come. The teeth of Sithis will be safe until we get aid from the tribes.
So, we're not going back? Give them a good bash ourselves?
I would rather gather support in Lilmoth. Get some rest. Maybe a warm meal.
I bet Sithis would want a bash.
Right now, I am strongly considering it. The temple seems quieter, and the spines of fear and dread lie flat again. It is done, isn't it? Then the last remnants of the old ways have finally been shed, and the story of Shuzaltse ends, as it was always meant to, with a new beginning. We are grateful for your help. The Hist were wise to guide you to us. Shuzaltse fought against tides of change longer than we can know. But in the end, the old always gives way to the new. May she finally find peace in the void. Though dead, the husk of the old ways still hangs over our temple. We three will go to Lilmoth and beseech the tribes to help Sithis cast off these remnants. If their warriors scour our temple clean, we will return. Then we were not meant to be there, and we will take our teachings elsewhere. Another lesson wiser. May your struggles crumble.
pox on dishonor. Kishi's life matters more than stupid traditions.
Kishi chose to save us. Outsiders will only make things worse.
Come, Dapasa. Beal has made her decision.
I spit at tradition and the cowardice it breeds. The Deadwater tribe is proud, set in its ways. But those ways will be the end of us. Even a stupid outsider can see such things. I mean no offense. We almost died during our trial of Ascension. We would have too, except Kishi interfered and saved us. Now, by the laws of the Nagakor, the Deadwater tribe, Kishi has been sentenced to death. He should not have helped us, but I'm glad he did. The elders stand by our traditions, even as the tribe sinks into quicksand. They refuse to reach out for any aid that isn't prescribed by the Tree Minder or the Kadiler. Perhaps you could help Kishi. As an outsider, you aren't bound by our laws. Find Kishi's father, Boki. Tell him you want to help. He will know how to best utilize an outsider in this matter. Be mindful of Mewa Jez, though. She seized Kishi because he interfered. Oh, my spines quiver just imagining her reaction to an outsider. The path of the lily is sacred to our people. Hatchlings ascend to the rank of warrior by walking the path, ready to defend the tribe and survive the terrors of the swamp. Failure means death and a return to the Hist. Kishi interrupted that fate. I attempt to speak plainly. As Mewajez teaches, the swamp doesn't provide second chances, so why should we? If warriors can't succeed on their own, they endanger us all. Still, I am grateful I am alive to explain this. Kishi made that possible. Mewajez is our tribe's Kadiles, our war teacher. She trains our novices to walk the path of the lily. Since she took over the responsibility, the Deadwater warriors have become stronger and more powerful. At least the ones that survive. The path of the lily claims more lives than ever before. Kishi and his egg siblings were the last novices to complete the trial without injury, let alone death. More often now, entire clutches of novices fall to the dangers encountered on the path. Everything changes. The path, the Kadilith, training changes too, and expectations. Now novices die more quickly than new eggs can be hatched. Soon, the Deadwater tribe will simply be the Dead tribe. I think that's why Kishi dislikes Mewajez. I speculate now. Perhaps Kishi didn't want to see more novices perish due to lack of training. Or maybe his dislike of Mewajez got the better of him. Or it could have been temporary insanity. Regardless, he saved us, and I am grateful for that. Boki's home stands just within the village walls, on the western side of the Hist. Please, hurry, for Mewajez took Kishi away before the night had turned to day. If Kishi hasn't been consumed by a swamp beast yet, it won't be long now.
I've got a lot to do here.
Fine. I state the obvious. You are Ogel, not of our tribe. Coming here makes you either very brave or very foolish, but it has nothing to do with me. I display my fangs in warning. Now leave me to my thoughts. Kishi is always in trouble, but never has the mud risen so high. He disobeyed tradition, tribal laws, and my direct orders when he decided to interfere in the rites of ascension. Now the Rajkal has sentenced the spawn of my eggs to death. I grind my fangs in frustration. I tried to talk to the Rajkal, the war chief, but he doesn't want to hear the truth. The Deadwater only care about strength and death, and they plan to follow that path to the bitter end. This book should have been destroyed ages ago. Kishi hid it here. He wants me to remember who I was, but I am no longer the Kardilith. The tribe has sentenced Kishi to death. I will stand at my son's side and die with him. You would risk life and limb for a stranger. Kishi believes that outsiders aren't intrinsically bad. So, I accept his opinion, and thank you for your help. Kishi was taken to the ruins at the north end of the village. Save him, and send him away. I exposed the spine of regret. Once the Deadwater tribe was as numerous as the fish in the streams. Now, we send our dwindling number of hatchlings to die upon the path of the lily. It curls my scales. The ruins remind us of more prosperous seasons. The ruins serve as a perfect killing field, which is what will happen to Kishi if you continue to stand here and ask me questions. If you really want to help, save my egg son and then tell him to leave the village and never return. There is no place in the village for someone sentenced to die. Kishi must flee and go far away, or our warriors will be forced to kill him. As for me, I need to consider his words and decide what to do with my old training manual. I served as the tribe's war teacher before I was replaced. That old book contains my training methods, techniques that worked well until they didn't. When Mewajez changed everything, novices started to die. But tell me, why do you care? The Ogel sees the truth, even through the fog of our traditions. The laws of the Deadwater refuse to bend. But in a powerful wind, the tall, straight tree either weathers the storm or breaks apart. Perhaps with your help, the tribe can learn to bend.
I wish I was off adventuring.
Ogel, help me get loose from these bonds. I proclaim my gratitude. Let's go over there so we can talk. The season turns strange. First, I break the laws of the tribe to save lives. Now an outsider appears out of nowhere to rescue me from certain death. You have my thanks, and my respect. Unless you seek a reward, then I respect you less. My egg-sire, how unexpected. When last we talked, he urged me not to oppose the Cadilith, but I refuse to let the dead water become nothing but a memory. Unlike Boki, I have drunk from the river of courage and refuse to turn away from my tribe. Mewajez, the war teacher, instructs our novices, trains them to walk the path of the lily. Her methods, instead of making us strong, they lead to nothing but death. I speak true. My clutch was the last to make it through the rite unscathed. Boki was our war teacher until one mistake led to his disgrace. Now Mewajez trains the novices. In 6 seasons, she has lost every clutch that walked the path, blaming them for being too weak. If this continues, the tribe cannot survive. Tell Boki that you saved me. Tell him that I will find a way to save our tribe.